Okay, they're calling the timer because it's 7 o'clock, and we will begin. Thank you all for coming. Welcome. I am Bonnie Ketterhagen from Wevo, Burlington, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Republican Assembly District 33 Candidate Forum. It's a mouthful. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. But I'd like to begin with a rousing Pledge of Allegiance for our country's 250th celebration. So let's hear it. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. I have posted an agenda. The agenda looks kind of like this. There's your greeting and seating and write questions. Feel free to write why this is going on. We did the welcome and pledge. The next one is notices and information. The next one is conduct of agreement for candidates and audience. Then there's the introduction of the candidates. The highest card goes first, and I'm ready with cards. That is 5 minutes. Then there are questions to candidates. We'll rotate who goes first, and those are 3 minutes. Then there are closing statements by candidates, and again, the highest card goes first, and those are 5 minutes. And then it's appreciation to the candidates and the teams who have helped. Some of you have been drafted into service tonight, so I thank you for letting it all come about with volunteers. Then the candidates will move to the table to hand out literature and yard signs, and then we adjourn and then exit with friendly conversation. That is the posted agenda. Can you tell I taught Robert's rules? Then the next one is our notices and information. First of all, the important things, the bathrooms are located down the hall, and you take a left, and there is a men's and a women's bathroom if you're not familiar with this building. Please silence your phones, that they wouldn't ring. You can still take photos. It is being recorded. You can take photos when your phone is silenced, and it would still work. Wevo Burlington forums are always from we the people. My slogan is we the people. The questions come from we the people. I put on many forums, usually Burlington Area School District, Burlington Town Hall, and sometimes other places. And we're all volunteers who make tonight possible. From the concept to the event tonight, I want to thank the whole team. It takes a team, and it is an enormous effort. The concept of tonight's event, and we thank them. That is why, we the people, you are writing questions. Please print so that we can read them. And there are white 3x5 cards. Put them in the box by the table as you've been instructed. If you think of a question during the event, please raise your hand, and our screeners will approach you and give you another 3x5 card. Or if some of those pens aren't working, Vanna here. If some of those aren't working, you can use other pens. We'll have other ones. So you raise your hand, and that'll be easy. The back table, the side table, represents a posting of all the responses of both candidates. It is the proof of the invites to both candidates. First to both campaigns, we're given 3 dates to choose from. Okay, then their responses. First one was for Monday. So after that, we went ahead with Monday. And then after multiple invitations, campaign websites, and phone calls, hand delivery to the Racine County Fair, printed 2 pieces of paper at Racine County Fair, where I met Mr. Wicklund, and we shook hands and talked about it, and Mr. Stacy was not present at the Racine County Republican Party at the fair, so he was handed a paper copy. Now, if you have press credentials, I have 2 packets for press releases if you would like copies of what is posted. Our agenda is posted, our responses are posted, completely transparent. Our conduct will be the next thing that I will talk about. because the says so. It was a huge undertaking to do this. We came upon an agreement of conduct for the Wisconsin Republican 33rd Assembly Forum. This agreement covers the rules of the forum, the conduct expected of you and your supporters while attending the Wisconsin Republican 33 Assembly Candidate Forum held in Spring Prairie Hall, located at N6097, Wisconsin 120, Burlington, Wisconsin, Monday, August 3rd, starting at 7 p.m., and that's tonight. Rules for the forum. Our supporters in the audience must remain quiet and respectful. No clapping, no shouting, no disturbances, no waving of signs, and no noisemakers. Candidates will be respectful of the monitor, the timer, other candidates, and help control his supporters. Candidates will draw a card, and I'm ready. The highest wins, ace is the lowest card. Whoever goes first for the 5-minute opening and will draw cards again for the 5-minute closing statement. Then alternate who goes first to respond to 3 minutes. 3 minutes of the questions vocalized to the candidate. If a candidate mentions or attacks another candidate outside of the question, that candidate has 1 additional minute to address the comment or attack. Failure to abide by these rules will result in the offending candidate being asked to leave. Failure of an audience member to abide by these rules will result in that person being asked to leave. All questions will be written by the audience attending this Wisconsin Assembly Forum. They are proofed by screeners and may be combined if they're related. No questions taken from the audience by the microphone. So let's have a productive, informative, and respectable forum. And then I agree with these, and they signed it. If you do not agree with these, if you have smuggled some things in here, please leave. And that hurts to say that, because we fought so hard to get people here and advertise. So let's have the forum. Now, next thing on the agenda, those are the notices and the information, conduct of agreement. So now we get to the cards. These are all 52 cards. It's a real deck. So pick a card, any card, the highest one wins. What'd you get? 4, and I got a jack. I'm drawing for Mr. Wickland. We'll give him his time. I need to change. Okay. Timer, please start 5 minutes.
Yep.
For Mr. Wickland. Okay. So I got the high card. Mr. Wickland sent the invite through his, to my email, to Levo Burlington. And it says, quote, "Hi Bonnie, thank you for the invitation to participate in the 33rd Assembly Candidate Forum. I appreciate you thinking of me. Unfortunately, given the short notice of this event, I'm going to have to respectfully decline. With the primary just days away, my campaign schedule, work commitments, and family responsibilities have all been planned well in advance. Between the very busy week at the Racine County Fair and several days of poor weather that cuts into our planned door-to-door campaigning, every available hour is now dedicated to making up for that lost time and connecting with voters across the district. I truly appreciate the invitation and wish you, the other candidates, and everyone involved a successful event. Thank you for your understanding, and I hope we'll have an opportunity to connect in the future. Best regards, Steve Wickland, Republican candidate for Wisconsin State Assembly, District 33. This was sent on Saturday, August 1st. I give up the rest of Mr. Wickland's time without comment, and we will have an opening statement.
We'll use this for timing purposes. When you have a minute left, I'll raise this. When you got 30 seconds, I'll raise this. When it's time to stop, give that, and we'll ring about. Okay? And if anybody has a question,
I
want
said
to
that.
ask, you know, you just raise your hand and I'll come get it.
Okay, so that is Mr. Wickland's opening statement. We're now ready for Mr. Stacy's opening statement, and he has 5 minutes, please, Mr. Timer.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. My wife Lisa is here with me tonight, so if you want to raise your hand there. We are proud parents of Air Force son and a daughter that is a hygienist. I grew up in North Cape, which is very eastern part of Racine County, like North K through 8th grade there, and started showing at actually Racine County Fair was in Racine County 4-H, and I started showing woodworking projects, and we had about 180-acre farm over there. In about 1980, we moved to Waterford, in the very western part of Waterford, a couple miles from Quantico. We had the last farm in Racine County on Highway 83 and L. I still was able to remain in Waterford High School with all my friends from North Cape, and then I started showing skiers and sheep at the Racine County Fair. And I was actually at North Cape for the bicentennial. Later, my family, we bought a 361-acre farm right over the border in Walworth County, right up on County L, and that's, that was about 1987, I think we bought that farm. And my dad became really ill in 1990 with acute leukemia, which is a rare leukemia. Kennedy just died of, Lady Kennedy, she had the same leukemia my dad did. So that was pretty awful death, but at that time, I had to step it up and help my mom keep the farm, so we started what was called Stacy Farms, so the big pumpkin corn maze operation. It grew rather fast. I can remember we set up, when I started at 83 now, and then moved to my farm, and we set up a trailer with a corn maze cover so you could see the people going through the fields, and it started out with just friends, and we have a fire, and we did an advertisement on one of the radio stations, and I can never forget that one night the cars just kept coming and coming. So the business grew really, really fast, and I put up a store back there and did a bunch of other things, and my neighbor comes down and says, you know, I hear you're getting in trouble for zoning for signs and so forth. So every time I put out a sign, I would get a zoning violation, or I was kind of young back then, I didn't know all of zoning. I put up a corn maze store and I get a zoning violation. I'd always go get them fixed right away. And he goes, I want you to run for the county board. And he actually helped me fill out the paperwork. And I beat an incumbent pretty good back then. So I got on the board in 2004, and our whole board changed. We're very business friendly now. We're very pro-business. So I became chair of Walworth County Zoning, and I also chair of the Walworth County Board, and we are the only debt-free county in the state of Wisconsin. And that sounds really good. It was really hard to get there. In fact, I called our old administrator, and we went from 1,300 employees down to, I think, 780 employees at that time. So we all on the board kind of had a mission to try to, we also combined different departments, and I was at the time in charge of public works. My wife had actually got threatened during that period when she was out eating. I was threatened by a sheriff. It was a tough time to get there because we had to make cuts on insurance and other things. And once we got over that hump though, now it has worked very, very well. We brought in new management for some things, and it was just something very, if you live in our county, very, very something to be proud of. And it was quite a thing to get there though. And we're projected to be on that at least through 2030, and I'm hoping as long as I'm there, it's gonna be the whole time. We have a board member here that's very fiscal responsible, sitting here, Sheila Reed. And in other counties have gotten in trouble. I was at a Racine County board, and I'm sure the whole circumstance, when we had COVID money, we made a pledge that we would not hire people that we wouldn't be able to pay for later on. We made a pledge of that. And I was at a Racine County board meeting, and I think they hired 6 or 8 sheriffs or deputies that they don't know how they're gonna pay for them now. because the COVID money ended. So we're very careful at the county level. And for me, I want to take that same responsibility to Madison. I don't have any big budget, but we're really getting traction with my pickup truck and sign, which I'm sure most of you have seen.
That's the 5 things.
All right. Well, that's that.
Okay, your question, Mr. Stacy, is what is your #1 priority when you get to Madison?
To go through these departments and tighten the purse strings. One of my, I drive double semi-trailers at night, so I put thousands of miles on the roads. And our DOT, in my opinion, is complete chaos. They can't get a message board right on a sign. I've seen 2 signs. One says the freeway is closed ahead. The other one has something completely different on it. There's, I don't know what the truth is, but the barrels that are laying all over the place, the amount of money that must pay on rent. And I was told that a bureaucrat sits in the office, so the detours that we take, they never have to drive. So I'm sure every one of us is stuck in some terrible construction. I think that needs to be looked at, but for me, it would be auditing and going through all these departments to save money. I wrote myself a note here. I think Wisconsin doesn't have a revenue problem. I think Madison has a spending problem. I think we need to reel that in, and that's something that I'm gonna live by. I'm good.
Okay,
Have to take this 3 minutes.
Listen, I have to take 3 minutes.
You don't have to take the 3 minutes.
Can I go back to my opening?
you can talk.
No, I was pretty much done anyway, I think. And I have the same thing in here, was to manage public funds and honor in my local values to Madison. And that was where I was gonna finish with my opening statement. I kinda touched on that there anyway.
All right, so reset for 3 minutes, please.
Yeah.
Next question. Would you support legislation that was introduced but not passed to give local government some say in the siting of solar fields? The bill was introduced in 2025 by Republicans and did also have a Democrat sponsor.
I can tell you where I stand on the solar fields. I don't know if I quite understand what
Would you support legislation
which legislation was that?
that was introduced but not passed to give should local government have some say in the
Yes.
siting of solar fields? That's the
Yes,
question.
100%. I don't know, a lot of people don't understand, there's Act 67 that was brought in, I think 2018 by Scott Walker, and there's some things that probably need to be carved out with that. We had a solar farm going by Troy Center, and the town actually passed that 3-0, and then they came to the county board, and there was opposition. The problem, we've been sued at Warwick County twice for Act 67. So on A1 zoning, if you can do under 100 megawatt solar panel farm, and you just have to get a conditional use. And with Act 67, as long as you meet the minimal conditions, you have to do it. I mean, we can deny it, we're gonna end up in court, and we're gonna lose. We've already lost twice, 2 different Act 67 issues. So the local government absolutely needs more control, and I think that's a step further, the county needs more control, because they have our hands tied. So, yes, I would support that.
Next question. What percentage K-12 costs should the state cover, and which exact mandate would you fully fund or eliminate first? The K-12 costs. You have a percentage that the state should cover, and an exact mandate, would you fully fund it or eliminate first?
Guessing that one, I'm not sure, but that's a school question,
K-12.
So, for me, the school system, I believe, isn't broken because the teachers don't care is broken because Madison keeps, sending unfunded mandates while shifting the tax burden onto local homeowners. As your representative, I'll fight to fix the state formula and deliver property tax relief, expand parental choice, and get back to the core of academics in the classroom. I'm a product of public school. I have two cousins that are teachers, and I think I have at least three cousins that are in grade school, and then our granddaughters probably going to get to public school pretty soon, but I think that would be my answer for now.
Okay. Next question, I guess we don't have to do the 3 minutes. Are you concerned about the future impact of flock cameras that are beginning to pop up in local communities? While law enforcement may benefit from them in certain situations, they seem to be an invasion of privacy and a step down the road to surveillance state. With big tech money like Peter Thiel behind them, what are you willing to do to stop them? F-L-O-C-K.
Yep,
Okay.
quite aware of them. Yes, Walworth County, we got a couple of them, and I definitely question the sheriff on them. I'm not in favor of them. We did pass it. I ended up voting for it because at the time they said, when somebody comes in and they've caught some people, I don't know if it was kidnapping a kid or something like that, but there's a lot of problems that see with flock cameras. And I actually had our sheriff come in and do a presentation on how that works. And he was explaining, and when he was giving the explanation, I was asking, how do you audit them? And his answer is everybody self-audits flock cameras. That's bad news. So I don't know what you do to control it in private industry. I understand Lowe's have them, Home Depot have them. It's just too much information that can be used against people, I feel. Milwaukee, I know, had a case where a police officer was tracking his girlfriend, I believe, and I think he hardly got any time for it, if I remember right. But yes, I think those are, I don't like them, so I'll say that.
Okay. Next question.